Hi everyone, it's Jen from Mind Eye, and we're going to do the holistic review as it concerns the FDA, the CDC, and all those other entities that we call up to the DPH. Now, I really am seeing quite a handle as far as illness and COVID and anything like that, at least for this week. But in reality, all is known. All is known. We already know that it's going to happen. So we'll look at the cards and see what else is going to happen for this. Now, I see the issue with the discussion again with fentanyl and the issues with propofol and drug diversion. And then how do we treat COVID again? And how is the policy procedure is almost like when I say it's a containment issue, it's almost like a reevaluation, like how are we supposed to do this? Which means, at least for me as a nurse, there means there's something else going on if I have to ask it again. Because I already know as a nurse how to do universal precautions. So if I'm asking like what's going on in here on the unit or out in the public on how to treat COVID and pneumonia and other things, there's something else rising up. So when I see the five of spades, that is how the nurses are like, that means that there's something running through. There is something running through that you just can't even understand at all. At all. It literally means that it's a feeling of wanting to stick a fork in it. And I keep hearing like stick a fork in it. It is like end it right now, but the two of spades says it won't. I'm seeing 2 to 4 weeks to 2 to 4 months. It's going to be like ramped up. The five of clubs says supplies. I'm seeing issues. I'm seeing the normalcy that we ran through with COVID, with um pneumonia and sepsis and anything like that. But the ace of diamond says you get what you need. I don't have that fear of it's gonna come back again. So when I see the jack of spades, it is a go for it and do what you gotta do. It is hard to explain when it is healthcare or anything like this, when you're doing policy, procedure, and everything that you're supposed to do in law. That's a seven of hearts goes, you just can't even see it whatsoever. And then you sit back as nurse, here it is. There it goes. So when I see the seven of hearts and it's on the table, the 10 of clubs goes, you can't even believe what happened, what truly happened. The 10 of diamonds goes, no, it is true. They went into an isolation room and it was terrible. I knew it. I knew it. The four of spades goes, it will go about when I'm seeing everything play through for the next week, especially for Christmas. It is the usual antics. Do you get my drift? There's really not much to do with that entity right now. But as I cut away at it, there's a fine line with fentanyl. There's a fine line with propofol. There's a fine line with uh like money follows the person. There's a fine line with a type of wound care that you just can't get out. Like I'm seeing like Aquasol. I'm seeing like the wound care supplies. There's something about that. And I'm like, you can get that on Amazon, some of those things. What is it? And I'm seeing insurance claims. When I see the King of Spades, you have to say, I think that you should. You really should. Because when I see this as the Six of Clubs, it goes, there's something about that. There's something about that. You just can't even put your finger on it. And then you have a team meeting, and then you have a team huddle, and then you sit and you're like, so what are we supposed to do with Mrs. and Mr. So-and-so with their wound care? And the doctor says, change it. And then it's an insurance claim. Basically, what happens is that it really boils down to here's the order and here's your options of where you can order your wound care supplies. Welcome to America, where, someone who could be severely injured is still able-bodied to go to work. And that's why the retirement age is 85 now. Three of Diamonds it shows the energy that there's a lot of disappointment when it comes to healthcare in the United States right now to almost global. So let's actually look at the tarot. Is there anything significant in the next week that is a little bit of a forewarning, a prediction, or anything like that? I see that it actually does. I see that it actually does. When we see it and you can't even do it at all, there's something about it jumping in. There's something about jumping out. I don't see a nursing exodus like we saw last time. There's plenty of nurses, but I do see a leaving. I see tea. I see uh as it pertains. So let's actually talk about is it being effective here, at least in Connecticut, on armed guards in our hospitals? Is it being effective? I say 50% of a show. That's really not bad. Oh, what happened? I mean, that's still on the table. What are we gonna do about drug diversion? That's hard. Well, it came in from other places. They have the right to medical care once they cross the border. Those are the things that are hard. So, in the last week's episodes, we were talking about how there was a deal coming in with other forms of modality of healthcare, like Reiki a little bit more, and natural products, actual real natural products like naturopathy, holistic, with a W, to see what would actually happen. But then something actually had run through, and it was an ill contract. And then we hear it's on the table, that contract, to do a little bit more palliative care, but in other stasis. I don't know why I'm hearing stasis, and I'm seeing an actual like wound culture, and I see staff. I keep seeing chain link, something staff chain link. So when I see this and I go, there is an imbalance, temperance, it's pretty strong in healthcare. It's gonna cause a little bit of chaos around the 28th. It is about an offering. It's not what everyone wanted, and it will cause another kick up to a tick up because there just be no logic when it goes through it. So let's actually talk about United Healthcare and actually what happened, because that was point blank, no pun intended, to literally be nasty, to where everyone's sitting here at home going, that's awful. But they are not happy on how it played out. Where is this like completion of cycle? Where was this foreseen? Then all of a sudden you hear there were little things, a little here, a little there, little things and a little here. But we had to be prudent. Yep. There was something about this that's a mystery still. We're not to know it. I hear more in the month of January, because it really is a type of like ending of a cycle or something. There was no teamwork. I mean, we knew that, and I knew that like 3 years ago. Teamwork was hard. You're lucky. lucky to be on a good unit that you all work together on the same shift. So when you see this and you see the sun, that what's this happiness over the next 7 to 10 days, it is a turning point of like a type of deceit that is a lack of money and funding, where someone does sit pretty well. I see one person, but I see 154. I don't know why I see that number 154 right off the bat. So when I actually see the page of wands in reverse, that you just can't even do it well enough. It's gonna hurt what actually comes more about United Healthcare. I'm seeing that it wasn't well planted. I'm seeing that there's a lot of intuitive logic coming through, a lot more understanding of details and paperwork when reading it through. Because the Queen of Cups goes, you can't sit and be counterintuitive. That's a go must, a go for it must. It really was like a thief in the night. Something had like literally pushed through over the last 1 to 2 years. But I don't know why I see 2 to 9. Now, when I see this, I see justice. It really was a pause. What was this pause? I see 2 to 4 months. I see 2 to 4 years to 2 to 9 years when it comes to insurances. Because you literally nail it. You literally nail it. The Eight of Swords is a type of like hostage feeling, but not hostage in a time of rest. Wish fulfillment. So when I actually see things play out, I have to say, what is true? So as a nurse who was out in the field in the public, there is this stigma that we carry medications. And we really are not supposed to carry medications, and wound care supplies don't count as medications. But according to the DPH right now, it is a medication. It is a treatment. It's not a medication. So are they eating it? Are they having pica? Where's the mental health counseling? We're overwhelmed. I can believe that. You can't even believe what comes out of their mouth. So I see a lesson of a struggle. I see a little bit of trickery. I hear normal audits. I hear the greed, but I also hear the source of a dictatorship, but not like outstanding like a king and queen. I actually see like penciled in. That's the balance. That's the imbalance with that Two of Pentacles in reverse. It's a new journey, though. I hear like chiseling away at baby steps at each incident that comes through. And I also see the paperwork come through, like they're really reevaluating what really happened. Because there's still this, like, I don't understand why we're bankrupt some places. I just don't understand why we're bankrupt. All right, so let's go to something a little bit lighter. As far as the tarot, we'll go to the Peach Moonstone runes. There's a gift coming in from somewhere for healthcare. It's a joy. It is not closing that faded gap. It has a lot of strength, but it comes in a form of a warrior. Because when you see this, and you see this heritage, this estate, this culture, you have to say, this had power in it. There's something about epidemiology that sees something in many hospitals where they start understanding, like, we haven't seen this in a while. We already know what to do. So when we see like living, I hear a stand tall like a tree. So it will flow well. It really will. It just cannot. But this literally goes. You can't even say. You can't even say it. It will freeze the investigations. I don't know why I say February. February. It's going to end something. So with that being said, White Side's Tarot, what can we add? Or like see what else is going in. Literally, it comes in the next, and you're gonna see previews of it. Little here, little there, in the media and through word of mouth. All right. Seven of Cups, it's like you sit there and you're like, here is the big picture. That's the Seven of Cups. Often that's like the grandiose thought. And the Chariot goes, it comes in fast. I see a February. The Four of Wands goes, holy cow. It's a party. It's a type of party. You're not to know what comes through. All you need to know is that it's not the best of a party that comes through, but that's all you need to know for the next 10 days. So, with that being said, that ends that look of part of healthcare for the next 1 to 10 days. Literally, it's an iffy one. It is good, it is bad, it is a little questionable, and you just don't understand it at times until it's right there with the paperwork and anything else with evidence. So, with that being said, that's all I have to say. Any likes, comments, or shares, go ahead, leave a comment or send an email, and we'll talk to you soon.